Today we're going to study how to convert a decimal and a fraction into a percent. So if you're given a decimal such as 0.8 and I need to convert it into a percentage, 0.8, I'm going to multiply the decimal by 100. So 0.8 multiplied by 100 gives me 80%. And of course, please don't forget the percentage sign. If I have 0.03 decimal and I need to change this into a percent, we do the same thing. It is 0.03 multiplied by 100. So 0.03 times 100 is 3%. If you have forgotten how we multiply by a multiple of 10, the number of spaces the point moves is equal to the number of zeros. This is the easy way. So my decimal point here has to jump 2 spaces forwards or to the right. So 0.03 multiplied by 100 will give me 3%. So any decimal you're given and we want to convert it into a percentage, we just multiply the decimal given by 100. And so any decimal given, in order to change it into a percent, we just multiply that decimal by 100. The same thing could be done with a fraction. If, for example, I have a fraction 4 out of 5 and I need to change this into a percent, I just multiply the fraction by 100. We can do it without simplification and cancellation. 4 times 100 is 400 out of 5. And then we can divide 400 by 5. 5 times 8 gives me 40. And then 0 comes down. This is the long division. So my answer is 80%. Now, of course, in grade 6, we're not going to do all this because we studied how to simplify. So instead, we're going to write 4 out of 5 multiplied by 100. And here we just cancel. 5 divided by 5 is 1. And 100 divided by 5 gives me 20. And now we just multiply. 4 times 20 is 80%. Now, of course, I gave you both ways because sometimes you might get mixed up or you might just forget how to divide. But if the numbers are easy to simplify and you can find an LCD, then it's easier to just simplify. If, for example, we have 1 out of 2, which is half, again, we want to change this into a percent. We multiply by 100. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 100 divided by 2 is 50. So here we have 50%. So whenever we want to change any fraction into a percent, we multiply by 100. Now, if you're given a mixed number, and we need to change the mixed number into a percent, make sure that we change the mixed number into a fraction first, and then we multiply by 100. For example, if I have 3.5, so I have to change this into an improper fraction. If you remember, it's 2 multiplied by 3, which gives me 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So I have 7 out of 2. Now I'll multiply this by 100. We can simplify here. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 100 divided by 2 is 50. And then 7 times 50 gives me 350%. Now, for sure, it is a mixed number. A mixed number is a number that is for sure greater than 1. So, of course, my answer will always be greater than 100%. Thank you for listening. Please have a nice day. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask through Telegram. Thank you again.